Seraphina Drift opened her eyes for the first time on 26 February 1997 inside a lavender-painted cottage skirting Lake Rotorua, New Zealand, where sulfur mist lingers like whispered secrets and black swans carve lazy crescents across dawn water. Her mother, a globe-roving Tonga-Boro artist who tucks pressed cowhide petals beside her nose flute, circled the bassinet humming a low Putorino drone that vibrated the floor. Her father, a geothermal engineer who sketches cloud dragons on cafe napkins, leaned close until their foreheads touched and promised his daughter that any sky will stretch wider for a body prepared to stand full height and never fold inward. Curves course through the drift Waka Papa the same way silica terraces climb geyser banks. So nobody panicked when baby Seraphina split her second merino wrap before sunrise, gilded the hot spring steam. Nani Ariana slid a bone needle along each snag seam, slipped in panels cut from an old rugby scarf, and chuckled that extra fabric cost pennies, while teaching a child to shrink could cost her the whole dream horizon. Primary school corridors smelled of chalk dust, warm custard squares, and distant mineral tang. Seraphina already towered a head above her classmates, and her shoulders spread like twin capes, blotting the overhead projector every time she diagrammed compound verbs. One drizzly recess, 2 boys circled her chanting ferry barge whenever she hopped the chalk boxes. That evening, she scouted the Palma shore for soda caps polished by wave tumble, threaded them on kite string into a glittering spine, then stitched the chain down her charcoal cardigan. When the bell rang next morning, dawn light catapulted off 100 tiny mirrors, and a visiting science volunteer captured 7 seconds on an early flip phone, uploading the glimmering moment to a newborn video hub. 16,000 strangers applauded the girl who flipped mockery into geyser sparkle. Seraphina inked a creed across her math book margin. Clouds crowding my sky are just mirrors waiting for me to flare. Weekends belonged to the lakefront craft market where her mother's utatara horn calls braided with the sizzle of kumara fritters and the hum of tourist drones. Store-bought jeans clamped at Seraphina's thighs, so she traded tip jar coins for weather-torn sail canvas, cut the cloth into high-waist culottes, misted 2E silhouettes with squid ink, and posed at sunset against sulfur-scarred railings while her cousin snapped grainy photos. She opened a photo diary she titled Steam Lantern. The same week, a new picture share app drifted across regional cell towers. Captions toggled between Maori wakataki and direct English truths like curves pin storms steadier than anchor stones. By 15, she counted 51,000 unseen hearts, tapping likes on each golden hour frame. Proof distant screens drowned cafeteria whispers louder than any deputy principal's hush. A scholarship ferried her south to Otago Polytechnic's Fashion Innovation Program. Daylight vanished inside fabric sensor labs, while nights belonged to a 24-hour Hungy pie van glowing neon aquamarine beneath wind-whipped willows. The pie warmer served as her lone softbox. Between laminate orders, she filmed 90-second reels, twisting parchment sleeves into hair keiki flower clips while decoding dart rotation in a voice half Hiroki flower clips, half lecture snap. Soon clip-looped Alamubu penguin chatter over a lofi beat while she chain-stitched reflective cord into thrift shop denim. 48 hours later, the reel skimmed past 1 million plays. Kiwi-style blogs crowned her the hangy pie couturier, yet every brand pitch clogging her inbox stalled at size 16. Seraphina slid each offer into a folder labeled shrinking nets, wiped apricot sauce from her cuff, and flipped another pie. Late summer delivered an email from Patagonia women inviting her to co-craft a windshield capsule called Echo Pulse. Seraphina replied with 3 immovable terms: patterns rising to 60-inch hips, production crews half hired from Aotearoa trade schools, and 10% of net profit poured into native flax wetland restoration along the Bay of Plenty. Patagonia signed before dawn mist cleared the glass panes. The photo shoot unrolled at daybreak on an obsidian beach where fur seals doze. Seraphina guided curvy paddle borders across silver swell while a drone etched circles above. When the lookbook dropped, every extended size shell sold out within 41 hours across 26 nations. Steam Lantern vaulted past 700,000 followers. Still perfumed with pastry steam, she ducked behind flour sacks, balanced her phone atop a chili bin, and live-streamed tear-spark gratitude beneath buzzing fluorescence. Side note, while emotions are still brimming, if that swell already lifts your ribs, press subscribe right now. One gentle tap secures your front row berth so every fresh tide of stories finds your screen before algorithm currents shift. Try it. You'll feel the snap like a mainsail catching wind. Spotlight shimmer draws, rumor goals. A clickbait vlog claims Seraphina buckled carbon panels round her waist between takes. At sunrise, she paddled a flat-nosed waka past the wheat line, stood firm in a sports bra and linen shorts, traced each stretch mark with ground pohutukawa bloom, and belted a bass line on her mother's spare drum about bodies staring storms. 10 million viewers reposted the jam, dubbing it Pohutukawa proof, brushing crimson dust over their own curves until gossip drifted out like spent steam. High-trek wages braided with castle royalties into drift glow, a whipped body custard blending manuka leaf butter, Fijo seed oil, and mica flex that pop pearl under foam flash. Seraphina poured 19,000 tins inside her father's hangar workshop, tied lids with braided cray pot line, and slip cards reading, "Moisturize your horizon." Inventory vanished in 83 minutes, netting $195,000. 20% launched Beacon Grant shipping heavy-duty sergers and pocket hydro recorders to plus-size teens from Curvy to Kai Cora. 9 months later, 36 grant winners staged a floating fashion and orchesson gala aboard a refurbished trawler strung with LED punga streamed live to breakfast sets from Dakar to Dusseldorf. Wellington Fashion Week carved fresh harbor legend when a backstage blower shredded her jade mesh gown from rib to knee 90 seconds before runway call. Snatching neon tow rope from a stagehand, she laced the slash-like sneaker eyelets, strode the catwalk as though the splice lived in every sketch, and camera shutters cracked like lake ice in spring. Vogue Otoroa named the feat Rope Cadence, and another million Lantern Voyagers surfaced before after-party vinyl warm. Trouble attempted a second serve. A jilted promoter leaked snippets alleging Seraphina demanded green-lipped mussel sliders and shellfish seaplanes for her rescue care route orbit. She posted the entire chain, refillable water urns, Kamara stew for crew, caption monitors for deaf stylists, then donated that month's affiliate revenue, $138,000, to biodegradable crepe pot trials off the Coromandel. Fans echoed her dockside creed, receipts glow brighter than rumor silk. Until whispers sink beneath ebb tide. By midsummer, Steam Lantern glimmered across 6.7 million Instagram hearts, 3.3 million real Voyagers, and 2 million loyal channel subscribers, with engagement circling 10% and scrambling brand cheat sheets everywhere. Cartier invited her to headline Topaz Surge filmed inside Cape Ranga Lighthouse Lens. Seraphina said yes once Cartier earmarked therapy stipends for power divers recovering from storm trauma. Final reel her wrists scattering amber shards across iron ribs became Cartier's most saved post of the quarter. Family remains her flax spoke. Twice a month she streams Strings and Steam. Mom drops syncopated bass over a portable gas stove. Dad recites mismapped haiku, and Seraphina flips thrift denim live under fairy bowls. One session peaked at 9 million when Orbit waddled through a mound of icing sugar and sneezed a snowy burst onto the mic. A bird rescue trust now sponsors every stream, tagging rehabilitated Caribou with solar beacons financed by Drip Globe. Glow revenue soared past 12 million in year 2. She leased a defunct smokehouse, punched skylights through corrugated tin, and hired furloughed deckhands plus design grads to whip and jar. Each tin not shut by hand during midday stretch dances to drum and bass Puderino mashups. Packaging consultants beg for shrink sleeves. She repeated her mother's mantra. Fingertips guard legends long after robots forget and knots remain hand-tied. She pours mental wellness candor into each upload, pairing cliff rim portraits with Bay Van selfies captioned "Same sky, different weather," dropping breath tracks recorded under tide caves, printable reframing sheets in English and Toreo Maori, and sliding scale therapy links. 109,000 followers now credit her shoreline honesty as their first calm cove. Community rides gleam under crushed power shell paint. Hundreds cycle the waterfront at dusk, wearing drift glow on collarbones and LED dolphin fins on spokes. Ticket proceeds widen beacon grants and install wheelchair snorkel lifts at rocky bays. Chowder shacks keep pots simmering late because Kina chowder bowls spike 15% on ride night. Seraphina pedals lead on a retro bike with Orbit plush buckled into a basket, pausing to retie any rider's flapping lace. Her memoir, Currents Keep Names, launches in 11 languages next spring, while a streamer shadows her dream to convert decommissioned weather buoys into floating maker laps for island high schools. Puma's Y2A wave lantern sneakers splash next quarter, threaded with reflective rope and cushioned by algae foam, funneling 10% of revenue into beacon programs up and down the Pacific Rim. Second, nudge rolls like a tailwind. If your subscribe button still glows red, tap now. One touch fixes your berth, so tomorrow's rollout moors at your dock before social tide pulls it away. Swing down to the description once playback ends. Waiting there, fresh Drift Glow restocks, express access to beacon grants. Tonight's Drinks and Steam playlist in a low-key compass, a science-backed guide brimming with conversation sparks and confidence rituals that chart the clearest route to authentic love and, yes, the most reliable tactics for inspiring romantic pull in every woman you meet. Zero paywalls, all yours. Like what you heard? Smash the like heart, drop your favorite splash, the soda cap spine, the rope cadence rescue, or orbit sugar sneeze in the comments. Then tow this voyage to a friend who sells slump in doldrums. Every curve deflects currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the Pacific bows to anyone bold enough to plant both feet on the pier and greet tomorrow unblinking. Last, gentle gust brushes your screen. Subscribe now, claim your deck chair, and meet me on the next swirling tide when a new story glimmers beyond the horizon and courage calls your name once again.